So the book, Unfinished, really plays into as we remind our young men that their decisions and their choices really impact their future. So imagine a world where all of our young men knew the impact of their decisions on not only their family, themselves, and their community. So the breakout session really reminds them, hey, your choices are yours regardless of your starting point. It's going to be one of those days that we look back on. Today is one of those days that we put a stake in the ground. Today, the best thing about today is your presence. Your presence in itself is a present. It was the teachers that saw something in me. It was the youth counselors that saw something in me. But it was up to me to listen. It was up to me to listen, right? So you guys today, you're gonna have people speaking some wonderful things into your life. All the possibilities. But the question is, who are you gonna listen to? So your starting point is irrelevant. It's really what you do along the journey that's important. So if a tree can grow in the middle of the most inopportune place, so can we. Some of us were born in some of the most inopportune environment. We can't do anything about it, right? What are you gonna do moving forward? And you have 100% responsibility for that. It comes in your choices, it comes in your decisions. All those things are up to you.
Oh yes, the lessons from Unfinished do help me, especially with responsibility, but also consistency and choosing the right people to hang around for your future and how they can benefit you in some ways.
How do you see you? Because that's important. How you see you, it projects on how others see you, right? So I ask you again, what did you see this morning when you woke up? So let me tell you how I see me. When I wake up every morning, I see the 5th grade me. Every morning when I wake up. In the 5th grade, everything was possible. I mean, there was nothing that was impossible, right? 5th grade, you haven't really been introduced to all the ill wills of the world. Everything was possible. My mom raised us in 3 boys in a 600 square foot house, working 3 jobs and oftentimes at home by herself. But none of that mattered. The neighborhood I grew up in, Detroit, chaotic, none of it mattered because my 5th grade self saw all the possibilities of the world. But then something happened. I started growing up and I started listening to what people were saying about how 1 in 3 young men in Detroit wouldn't graduate high school. I started listening to what the definition of somebody else's was cool and what the definition of somebody else was success, right? So I started growing up. But the cool thing is I came back around to my 5th grade self. So now when I wake up in the morning, regardless of what I hear on the news, in fact, I don't even watch the news. Regardless of that, my 5th grade self still sees that all things are possible.
Well, the book Unfinished to me was really inspirational, really motivational in the time that I was in. It gave me ways to escape the negative influences on my life.
4 things, the 4 great things about mentorship. So, when I think mentor, I think coach, I think teacher, right? So, some of the attributes, some of the great things about a mentor is they can pull that potential out of you. They can help you maximize that potential. Great mentors remind you to play your position. We all have a position, and the most dangerous thing to do is look at somebody else's position and go, yeah, I probably can do that better than they can, right? What does that do for you? It takes your eyes off of your potential and your position. So you're not developing you because you want to be them. What is it that you need from the generation ahead of you? What do you need more of? Because again, it's easy for me to come in here and tell you what you need without really asking you how I can help you or how we can help you.
The lessons from the book Unfinished, it strongly does give you the tools to be successful.
Well, it's really important for teachers to bring books like Unfinished to students, for them to understand that teachers and people do care for them and that they're willing to help, even if they're in a dark time, they're willing to bring them out or to unleash the untapped potential that they have inside themselves.
Well, I think the book transcends through different curriculums, and each teacher could find something valuable in that book that they could share with their students, because most teachers want all the character building resources that are in this book. Responsibility, choosing the right friends, or making the right decisions. So those character building lessons in the book can be utilized in every classroom with every teacher, so I'm sure every teacher can find some benefit in this book that would enhance the lives of their students.